When we step into this new year, we're leaving all of our baggage behind. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about all things new year, new us. Let's step into our classy woman energy. Let's step into the best version of ourselves. This is such a important topic, not only now, but for me personally, stepping into like this new chapter, into this new version of who I am. I want to leave behind the person that I was this year. The person I was this year was damaged. The person I was this year was overworked. The person that I was this year was not my highest self. And I realized I didn't step into this year with intention at all. So that's the first thing I'm going to talk about.
What I want to really have you think about is, what is the one thing that you would want to focus on mastering this year and become a student of it? Look at your social media. Who are you following? Are you following celebrities and you're just gawking at their lives? Or are you following female entrepreneurs that are every single day in your social media feed, your board of directors and mentors that are pouring into you and inspiring you and showing you that you could do this? Because if you were to get rid of all the influencers and start following women in business and consuming this content and allowing it to pour into you, you're going to start to realize, oh my God, it's not only possible, all these people are doing it and it looks really fun. And I think I could do this. And I think it would be really cool. And I think that something would come alive in me. And all of a sudden you're going to want to do it.
The first thing I do when I am deciding on what my goals are for the year is look at each facet of my life and see how I'm feeling about it. These include relationships, career, finance, health, personal development, fun, location. And I grade it on a scale of 1 to 10. And I get really granular about everything that's gone wrong or right in each area. I'll look at the areas where I'm least satisfied and identify 3 big goals. And I typically tend to have a personal top 5 every month to reflect and move me closer to those overarching large goals. And from there, I also narrow down my weekly goals as well. Again, just like we have a to-do list for work, I feel like your personal life is the same thing. And I have a to-do list of things that I'm supposed to check off that will help me get to that part of my goal.
A lot of people, they want to make goals, they want to set expectations for themselves just to be better. Or one of my favorites, lose weight and get prettier. And a lot of people, they don't step into what that even looks like, what that means, how they're going to do that. And that's so important. So the first thing I want you to do is take out your notebook. On this channel, you know that we always take notes. Second, I want you to subscribe because I would love to have you as part of the family, and you being here just means so much to me. 3, follow the Instagram. I don't talk about it a lot on this channel because the purpose of my YouTube channel is different from my Instagram, but I am a online personal trainer, mindset coach, and nutritionist. So I help women lose weight, overcome eating disorders, and just become the best version of themselves without doing any crazy diets, intense working out. I don't really talk about it a lot on here just because that's not the focus for this channel. If you want to learn more and you are interested, by all means, follow my Instagram. If you just want to reach out to me, talk to me, then that's perfectly fine too. Reach out to me on Instagram. I love connecting with you guys. A lot of you have already done that. I mean, creating a community on here is really important to me, so I'd love to hear from you. 3, the next thing I want you to do as we are stepping into this new year is find your word. So I think it's so important that you step into the new year with a word. And I did this last year, and my word for last year was success. 1, that is way too broad. Success can look like a bunch of different things, but I had it written all in my journal. I made all of the Pinterest boards. I did all of this stuff that I realized was not realistic. And let me tell you why. We can put this rich girl aesthetic on our wallpaper. We can do the whole, oh,
I'm writing it into existence, I'm speaking it into existence,
and all this other stuff. But if you're not prepared for it, it's not going to happen. I don't know why I thought I was going to be taking trips to Boca Raton and Cancun this year when I wasn't even prepared to have the money to do that. I wasn't prepared to be in the wealth mindset needed to not only manage the finances for that, but also manage the finances in my own business. As an independent business owner, it is important that you educate yourself on these things. And if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about like the business, how I started my own business and how I'm running my own business by myself, leave it in the comments. I will make another video on that if I get 2 or more comments about that. Second, I think it is so important that you don't make a bunch of goals without specifying why they're important to you, what that will do for you. And this is a lot of things I talk about like with my own clients, like, why is this your goal? If your goal, like to lose weight, is just because
I want to look good so other people will like me,
that's not gonna stick, Bessie. That's not gonna be a goal that you actually achieve. It's not, I'm sorry. This year, one of my goals was to lose weight. I was very, very inflamed last year, and I didn't even weigh a lot. It was a lot of inflammation. So a lot of people can look a lot heavier than they actually are just because you may be experiencing bloat in your face, in your neck. Some people, I have like some clients that are very skinny, but they have like a double chin and they're trying to figure out why. And a lot of this can just be because of bloat and toxin buildup in your body. One of my goals was to get rid of that, and
I did.
but the only way I was able to do that was to get really specific about my goals, what I needed to reach those goals, and how I was going to get there. Another goal I had was to grow my business, but how is important. The how is important, and the how is in your systems. If you have read the book Atomic Habits, it is one of the best books ever on creating new habits, creating systems, because your systems that you have in place are going to be way more important than your goal. Going to the gym, for example, losing weight. Some people will just say, I want to lose weight. And then some people, to be more specific, is I want to start going to the gym. And then to be more specific, they want to say, I want to lose 30 pounds. But what systems are in place in order for that to happen? Because if you're sitting on the couch and you're lazy Larry eating your Lay's on the couch, do you think that you're going to be losing that weight? I don't think so. Because your systems associate you with a lazy person. And if your systems associate with a different person, you cannot become your highest self. Take note. If your systems are not in line with the highest version of yourself, you cannot become her. So I want you to write down on a blank page in your journal your new chapter. And starting this new chapter, I want you to define what that looks like. Because my word for this year is intention, and being intentional with everything. Friendships, my relationship with God, my loving relationship with my boyfriend, all of that. I want it to be extremely intentional. Everything that I do, every conversation I have, every video I post on YouTube, every interaction I have with one of my clients, everything I do, I want to be intentional. And your word could be something like confidence. And every area of your life, you're looking on how you can improve that. Because your word needs to mean something in every aspect of your life. So find your word. And underneath this new chapter, I want you to write what that word is. And then under that, I want you to write what that means to you. Next, we're going to declutter our life. So a lot of you are carrying a lot of baggage from this year. A lot of you. So if you're carrying anything from your ex, throw it out. If you have a bunch of clothes from preschool and kindergarten, donate them to Goodwill. If you have a bunch of makeup that you haven't touched in over 6 months, or you've had it for 3 years or more than 8 months, it needs to go in the trash. We are doing a rebrand for this new year, and if we're holding on to our baggage, if we're holding on to expired items, if we're holding on to an expired wardrobe, we can't do that. So I know a lot of you might be like, oh,
but the memories. Forget the memories, bruh.
why are so many people like carrying and holding on to things from their past, from past friendships, people that hurt them, people that did them wrong and brought evil into their life? Why are you holding on to things from that time period, from that person? There's something I think my dad told me one time about keeping things from other people and how it can let things into your life. Not on some superstitious type beat, but Just like, let's say I get something from somebody and I keep it in my room, and this person did me so wrong, they betrayed me, but I want to keep it for the memories. I want to keep it just for old time's sake. One, I don't have contact with that person anymore, so I really don't see the need to do this. I really don't. You can try to justify that as much as you want, but you're literally making yourself sad, reminiscing about the things in the past. And if you're reminiscing about the things in the past, you cannot move into the future. So we're letting that go. You need to get rid of it. And I know that can be difficult, but burning it, that's an option. I have burnt things as a ritual just to get it out of my life and just let go of all that anger. Just burning something, like, that is great. Another thing that you can do is have somebody take it away for you. Or if it's easier, put it in a box, put it far away from you, move it somewhere else, donate it, like do something with it, but just don't keep it in your space. Because those bad vibes they were giving you is now on that. And you're letting that into your space, and every time you think about it, every time you look at it, you're just gonna think about it, and it's not gonna be good, and that's gonna hold you back. We're stepping into great friendships. We're stepping into a new version of ourselves. We're stepping into a new life, and we can't do that by holding on to things of the past. So in order to teach yourself how to let things go, you need to let that stuff go. And this isn't just with things that you have from people of the past or anything like that. It's with everything in your life that no longer serves you and is no longer helping you become the best version of yourself, the version that you want to be. If it's not helping you do that, cut it out, let it go, get rid of it. And now on the next page of your notebook, I want you to write out a review of 2023. What went right? What things you loved about yourself? What things that you hated this year? What things you don't want to repeat? And what lessons you have learned this year. Now, this is really important because we're not just gonna go into the new year with the same patterns and habits that we had this year that did not help us. I am such a strong believer in new beginnings, new chapters, and just really creating a life that you love. And you can't grow if you can't see what is wrong. So this year I learned a lot about myself, a lot of things that I did not like about myself, and a lot of things I have gone to therapy to work on, a lot of things I have gone to therapy to get help with. And that is something that really helped me grow into a new person. Somebody I can say I am proud of. Somebody that has the tools to defend themselves and to protect their energy. Somebody that has the tools to know how to navigate certain situations in life. And that is so important. And you can't do that without reflecting and doing some deep work on some things you do not like about yourself. This could be about your habits. This could be about the way that you dress. This could be about things that you just want to change within yourself. It's very important that you identify all those things down to a detail, because this is going to be so important in becoming the best version of yourself for the new year. Now, I want you to do another exercise where you write out what your future self looks like. And this doesn't have to be a long page or anything, but just writing out what the future version of you looks like, and then associating it with like a Pinterest board, associating what that person looks like, what that person dresses like, how you're going to put that spin on for yourself and how you're going to embody that. It's so important that you know what that looks like, so you're not aimlessly just
Trying things like, oh, well, maybe over here I can do this, and then
maybe over here, maybe I'll do that, because you'll never get anywhere. Never. So it's really important that you just really specify what that looks like for you. What habits does my future self have? What does my future self act like? What does my future self look like? What relationships and friendships is this new me attracting? How am I going to make those new friendships? How am I going to attract those things into my life? All of that is so important. And it's important because if you can't identify it, you won't know how to work towards it. Write all those things down. Next, you're going to do an unfollow spree. One of my favorites. So I used to be following like around 900, 1,000 people. And people on a regular basis only see maybe 40 or 50 people in their feed a day, and it's usually the same cycling people, and very often, like very rarely will you have like somebody new pop up in your feed on your homepage on almost all of your social media apps. So why are you following 1,000 people? You're not even gonna see all of their feeds. Some people are like, oh, but they're my friend. But honestly, if they're not helping you grow and you're looking at that page and you're like, oh, well, I wish I had that. Man, like I just don't understand why I'm not there. Why in this constant competition with yourself and constantly comparing yourself and just looking at these people and kind of like just feeling negative vibes towards them, there's no reason for you to be following them. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is unfollowing almost every man on my social media, because there is really no reason to be following all of these men unless you're a good friend of mine and you have shown to be an amazing friend and ally in my life. There's no reason for me to be following you. There's not. It's not that deep, honestly. I mean, social media is social media, and you don't need to be following people that you have negative vibes towards, you don't really like. When you see their page pop up, it just like hurts you inside. Like there's no reason for you to be following them. Oh, but
What if they get mad?
so what? Honestly, grow up. Grow up. It's social media. It's not life. It's not life and death. Unfollowing somebody on social media is not everything. And people that get offended by you unfollowing them, honestly, that's very childish. It is very childish. You don't see adults doing that. And if you do see adults doing that, sorry, you need to grow up. It's just social media. It's not a life or death sentence. Next, we're also going to be making playlists that align with the vibes that we want to go into 2024 with. So what I mean by this is I have playlists for everything. So a lot of my playlists, they are consistent of podcasts that will help me understand things like finance, motivation and discipline, owning a business, what it takes to own a business, investing, audiobooks, things like that. That's what a lot of my playlists consist of, and they have really made a difference in the last couple of months just having that. It's important that you act now to prepare for the new year, so that way you're already stepping into the new year with everything set for you. Because if you wait till the last minute, you wait the day of, that's usually when people fall off. So it's good to start now. Because if you wait till January 1st to be like, oh, well, now I'm gonna go to the gym, but I really don't have a plan. I have no idea what I'm doing. You're more likely to fall off and give up because you have no idea what you're doing. You didn't start, and now there's more pressure to get it right, and you feel like you can't. So this isn't the case with everyone, but for most of the population, it is. Having multiple playlists set to get you in the right mood, like a happy playlist, like a happy music playlist, some motivational music, some focus music, stuff like that. Having it organized is great. So something that I had to do with all of my music this year was really get rid of a lot of it. And let me tell you why. In 2021, I listened to a lot of darker music, and I was very upset at life. I noticed that I was very angry all the time. And your music has such a strong impact on the way that your mind thinks. Like, these songs are programming you to think and act a certain way subconsciously that you don't even realize. And I listen back to the music now and I don't even like it because I'm a different person. Music is so powerful. Now a lot of my music is upbeat, it is happier, it's not so derogatory, and it's not so threatening. And I've noticed that I've become a kinder person just because of my music change. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. When you listen to like threatening music and dark music all of the time, it really programs you in a negative way. So just be aware of that. And if you don't believe me, just try to listen to something else for a week and see how that programs your mind. I wake up and the first thing I listen to is either a sermon or a motivational podcast by somebody like Mel Robbins or Tony Robbins or Jay Shetty or Ali Abdaal, or somebody that really inspires me and motivates me. And I notice the days that I do that, I am way more productive. I'm so much more focused. And over time, that makes a difference. Over time, that makes a difference. Next, you need to get clear, extremely clear on what your finances are gonna look like. Now, if you are a girl right now going paycheck to paycheck, I understand. I get it so much. Like, you don't understand. I literally 2 years ago had $4 in my bank account. $4 in my bank account. And now I'm a successful independent business owner at 20. So do not let your finances dictate you, because honestly, if you let anything on this planet dictate you and your limits and what you can and can't do, you're lying to yourself and you're using those things as limitations. Because I don't care what you tell me. I don't care what you say about your current situation. Someone has it worse or has had it worse and has come out stronger, successful, and are living the life of their dreams because they believed in themselves when no one else did. They believed in themselves enough when they had absolutely nothing to persevere and to keep going and to just achieve their goal wholeheartedly without looking at the circumstances. There have been people millions of dollars in debt, hundreds of $1,000s in debt, that have come out stronger, successful, and learning something from that. And I learned so much about what it means to be successful and what it means to struggle. And I can completely understand and relate to somebody that might not have just like common things in life. But just remember that the only limit that you will ever have is your mind. That's it. That's the only limit you'll ever have. And you can't convince me otherwise, because I've seen from all kinds of people that had absolutely nothing, living on the street, living in their car, having literally nothing, begging on the street, being successful. So don't let your circumstances define you, and don't let your circumstances become an excuse as to why you can't do something, because if you really want it, you'll find a way to get it. So going into finances this year, you have to be really specific with how much you plan on making, what revenue streams you want. It's never safe to just have one revenue stream, honestly. So looking at how you can start multiple revenue streams, how you can educate yourself on finance, start looking into some books, podcasts. If you feel like you're bad at spending and you're just always spending money, try to save a little bit. See what it's like to save and look into what that means for you. If you want to learn about investing, start looking at books at investing. Financial literacy is so important in order to have and accumulate wealth. So another thing that we're going to do is just really do an evaluation of what it will mean for you to reach these goals. Like, what does it mean to you to reach these goals? What does it mean to you to step into that energy that you want to have? And this is important because if you are just aimlessly trying to reach a bunch of goals, honestly, it's not really possible for you to reach them if you have no plan, no structure, no end goal, no vision. It's really important that you take a step back and really look at what that means. And this goes with every aspect of like who you are. This year, we really want to end on a really high note. I want you to do something for yourself that you feel like is going to just really make this year end in the best way possible, so that way when you walk into the new year, you're feeling positive, you're having that high energy, you're feeling like on top of the world, and you're ready to go.
3 things that you should consider doing to close the year out strong and close it out like a champion. Number 1, from today to the end of the year, and if you want to carry it into 2024, that's up to you. But here's my challenge. Blame no thing or no one for your present reality. Blame no one for nothing. I mean it. Got nothing to do with me. Do not gossip. Do not blame. Number 2, do not defend yourself against anyone. People often feel like they have to defend their position. There are moments you need to provide clarity. That's why I say if you are a thorough presenter, people know where you're coming from. If you're a thorough, so this is why when I talk to people, they don't know what they want. They're like stuttering and you're not a thorough presenter. You don't know what you want. But once you get to the point where you have clear vision, an associate at the bank told me that yesterday as I was doing a wire transfer. She said, older woman, she said, you seem to have everything going on. Like, you seem to know everything you want to do and you don't exhibit doubt. And this was a person that just met me. And it was because of how I was representing myself and how I was presenting what it is I want to do and how I answered questions and how I posed questions. Okay? And she just said, it just seems like you know everything you want to do, you know it. And I said, yeah, I have very clear vision. And having a clear vision as to who you are and what you're doing and where you're going and how you're going to get there. And putting a plan into action. Number 3 is accept every moment as if you chose it. Because whether you want to admit this or not, you do choose your life. How it's going, how it's gonna go. You're choosing it. And so number 3 is accept every single moment as if you chose it.
Now for me, something that I'm going to do to end this year off is be a little bit more social and make as many memories as possible. And the reason I want to do that to end this year on a good note is because I know in the past I kind of complained to myself that I wasn't doing all of the things I wanted to do and let money be a barrier, but this year I'm not going to. And that doesn't mean that I'm just gonna go randomly spend a bunch of money, but there are things that I feel like I can enjoy with the people I love, with my boyfriend, with my family, with my sisters, with my best friend that don't require money at all. But they're memories I want to be able to make, especially with this holiday season. So I'm just really excited for that. So I want you to think about something that you can do that would end this year on a high, that will make you feel ready for the new year and ready to step into this new version of you. Because I know that people say this a lot, like new year, new me, but I don't want you to say that because it's so much pressure. New year improved you. How can you improve your current situation? How can you improve yourself every single day? If you work on improving yourself just every day, 1%, you'll be a totally different person by the end of the year. And the last thing I want you to write out is what you expect to accomplish by the end of next year. So this time next year, write down 5 things you expect to accomplish and what that means to you and how that would change your life. So now that you have a roadmap and you have a guide, I hope that this really helped you. And if it did, please like and subscribe, and of course, comment below. I love hearing from you guys, and I can't wait to talk to you in the next video. All right, bye guys.